So where am I at with Revan? As you guys know, a few weeks ago, I made that rant video, not happy with how he was being released, with how long we had to film the characters. Well, that is all in the past, and now I can only focus on what I'm able to do now. Yes, he came out, a few days ago, and I'm a very impulsive human being. He came out at 2 a.m. my time, and I am laying there literally like, I do not have him yet. And I was like, okay, that's, it's a character flaw of mine. I understand that. And I sat there and thought, no, I need to stick with what I was going to do and show you guys how much it would cost for a person that completely panic farmed all of these characters when they were released to get them to 7 stars. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to show you where I'm at right now. And then in about a day or two, I'm going to actually drop the money and get the character because he is meta defining. And I will make a video on that. And I'll show you, okay, this is how much he's going to cost then. So let's take a look at these characters first. I'll tell you how I farmed them. They became, free to play or farmable about, 3 weeks ago, was it? So immediately, when they came out, I spent all crystals on energy, and it was strictly on these characters. I stopped farming gear. I stopped farming everything. So, first way I started out, Bastila and Jolie. They were the first 2 characters I had. Now, Bastila, I had at 3-star. And what was nice, or did I have her at 4-star? Did I get the 1 pack? Either or, because I had used her in the arena for the longest time because she was a great character. And I had her at gear 11, and as soon as she got to 7-star, I took her to gear 12, and I had the Zeta on her. So here's what I did. When these characters were released, I went in here. I had purchased probably, 300 or no, probably 400, 500 crystals worth of regular energy every day. I purchased 200 crystals worth of the fleet energy every day, and I refreshed these each probably 2 or 3 times. So when I went through these, the first time to refresh, it cost 25 crystals. I did that with the fleet and with the dark side both. Then I refreshed it again with the 50 crystal cost, and some nights I did it with 100 depending on where I had placed in arena and how many crystals I had. I did the same thing with Jolie at the same time. Now, if some of you think this was unwise or this was not the proper way to farm them, let me know so I can fix it in the future. Now, the one minor mistake that I made is for 3 days when the characters came out, I was still working on maximizing my CLS, Han Solo, Chewbacca team. And I wanted to get L3 to 7 stars. So I spent 3 days finishing getting L3 to 7 stars. So you can say, well, you didn't completely panic farm. Well, I still consider that I did it. It was 3 days. And then as soon as I were done with her, I went right to T3. And now I have him at 77 shards. And I think I'm going to keep him there for the moment, because I've been doing a lot of math, working through a lot of things in my head. And you can go into the weekly shipment store, which I love, by the way. You can get whole pieces of gear 12 plus gear if you have enough crystals. And my brother was snapping me there, and I forgot to turn the notifications off, so just ignore that for now, please. Anyway, I can spend 2,000 crystals to get 25 shards of him. Now, most of you are going, what, 2,000 crystals? You could get 25 shards in one night. I understand that. I'm going to explain my reasoning. We're going to look here at Mission. Mission is another character I need to get. She requires Cantina energy. Shad, you're in the video? Awesome. So I'm going to do this for 1 to 2 more days. And to maximize cost effectiveness, I'm going to just spend 900 crystals potentially on the Cantina energy and work on getting Mission as far along as possible. She's at 4 stars. Can I get her to 5 stars, maybe 6 stars if I completely go hard before I have to actually spend some money? So that's why T3, some of you are saying, well, finish him off. I'll see how this is going to go. And what's going to be great is when I'm ready to do all this, I'm going to be making a video, and you're going to be able to walk through with me how I'm doing it. So we'll look at Zalbar. As soon as I finished Mission and Jolie, I started doing the same thing with Zalbar. And refreshing every night, sometimes once, sometimes twice with these characters. And as you can see, I'm close to getting him to 7 star. I'm like 16 away to getting him to 7 star. Or to 6 star, excuse me. And then I'll be 100 to get him to 7 star. So we'll see. And the other thing about Zalbar is I think he's going to be a great character in the game. I think he's underrated. He's a character that can do decent damage, give damage over time, plus give armor shred. Also, he regains health and protection. He's a tank that can help you offensively as well. I think he's underrated. I think he's going to be utilized more in the game, and I cannot wait to make more videos with him. I'm not necessarily saying in a Revan lineup, but in different lineups in general. So that's where I'm at right now. I am the person that panic farmed these characters as soon as they came out. Here's where they're at. 2 max characters, a person close to being maxed, and 2 characters that I'm still working on. And what's going to be nice about this is for any legendary or heroic journey character that comes out in the future. Now, this is, I get those confused sometimes. CLS, Jedi Training Ray, they're hero journey characters. If CG follows the same cadence, I'll be able to tell you, okay, here's what happened if you had panic farmed these characters up until he was released. Here's how much money you will need to drop to be able to get the character to 7 stars. I know some people that hadn't farmed them at all that have dropped $500, $600, if not more, to get these characters to 7 stars. I would be absolutely elated if I was able to spend $200 or less, which is possible. Because look here, I know for sure I'm going to probably have to spend the $29.99 to get the Zalbar and Mission Veil pack. Not bad at all. I definitely don't need to spend the $14.99 on T3 because I'm so close to getting him to 7 stars. So the question is, am I going to actually have to start buying the Old Republic faction packs, which is randomized, has more, probability issues. It can be the difference between spending $100 and $300 at times. Or am I going to be able to go in here and refresh the shipments a few times? There's 16 shards of Zalbar available right there. That would get him to 7 stars with 100 left right there. So will I be able to do that, or will I have to get a few of the packs? And like I said, it's going to be a contrast to the people that didn't farm them at all. So you'll know in the future, let's say, and this is something you can remember too, by the way. Let's say that they drop 5 Praetorian Guards. I don't even think there were 5. I'm just saying. And you go, I wonder what these characters are going to be needed for. And most people in the community and yourself are going to be going, wow, I think Snoke will probably be, these will be required for Snoke. And you can go, Snoke's somebody I know we're going to need, panic farm them, and you're going to go, okay, if the same cadence, if the same timeline is followed, I'll need to drop approximately this much money to get him to 7 stars. Or to unlock him, I guess I should say. Because I can guarantee you this. If CG said, okay, if everybody would drop $100 to get Revan, they would have so much revenue, get it? Revenue, they wouldn't know what to do. Because people that couldn't afford these characters would be walking the streets. They would be checking under their couches. They would be lifting up their floor mats. They'd be scrubbing anything they could find to make that money to get Revan, because he is meta-defining. Now, here's the difference. We know he's meta-defining, and I'm going to explain some mistakes I've made in the past. You've seen Game Changer videos out there with him. They've used him in test accounts. They show you that he's dominant. First things first, most legendary, actually all legendary characters and heroic journey characters are somewhat meta-defining or dominant. We'll look at R2 and BB-8. They were legendary characters. They're great. They've been in the meta in different teams. They're excellent in raids. R2 is going to be around forever because of his ability to cleanse, passively help cleanse people, to add stats, to help boost the stats of everybody else. BB-8 is a raid killer. He can help solo raids with his Illuminated Destiny, who was in the JTR meta. All those characters are good characters. Chewbacca is an excellent character. The only thing I feel kind of bad about with Chewbacca, he's going to be in my meta for 3 weeks. Until I get Revan, because then I can't wait to run the Jedi. Now, the issue is, I would absolutely love to find a lineup where I can run Revan and have Han, Chewie, or just Chewie at the same time. I have a lot of experimenting to do. I can't wait to do that, and I will let you know if I find that out. Because, come on, Chewie only for the meta for the 3 weeks? I know he's also great in raids, or especially in Chex Mix, but I'd like it a little longer. Now, here's the mistake I made, and many of you have pointed this out, and you are correct. You say I wail wrong. I wailed stupidly. And honestly, sometimes I overspend the amount of money I actually have or should spend on characters in the game, because this is my only hobby. I don't do anything else. And I got Aura and Django, and many of you pointed that out, especially when I was talking about, the cost of Revan and, hypocritical. I can understand that. It's right. I have to learn to take criticism. With Aura, I do not regret getting her to 7 stars whatsoever, because I knew going in, she is built for Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith Raid. And honestly, I love to use her there. She's fun. It can help me get more damage, which is going to help me get Traya quicker. It's an investment I'm okay with making. I know some of you are saying, well, that's only one aspect of the game. It was a decision I made. I had thought it through. Now, Django. Django was a huge mistake by me. I had watched a lot of videos on him where they had him max geared, you know, gear 12 plus, with a bunch of other bounty hunters that had all their Zetas, that had Dengar, who I have at 7 stars but not geared at all, being able to defeat Traya teams in arena and stuff like that. And my eyes got bigger than my, my brain basically. And I'm like, yes! And I also went, he's Jango Fett. He's the clone template. The name of his event was the template in the Tempest. How can he not be good? And as soon as he came out, I immediately wailed on him. Worst waste of money ever. I, as a person that gives you guys advice and help you guys out, did not do my own due diligence and research on that. And it will never happen again, I can assure you that. Now, he did help me get Chewie, so that is a bonus. I would have probably been able to get Chewie anyways, because I would have been able to spend a lot of gear on Dengar to get him to gear 12, because I had a lot of the bounty hunters at gear 11, gear 12, the way it was. But he was one of the mistakes that I've made in this game. The biggest difference with Revan in happening to actually spend money for Revan is we know that it's not going to be a mistake because it's been proven already by people that are playing the game, by videos that you've seen, and also, like I said, this is Revan. He's probably the most well-known character in the Legends universe that people that only watch the movies or know canon material know about. If you mention Revan, there's a chance 80% of the people that don't even, go that deep into Star Wars are going to know his name, know somewhat about him. And name has a lot to do with power in this game in some instances. Like I said, if the Praetorian Guards would come out, Snoke is going to be powerful. Jedi Knight Luke is going to be powerful because he's Jedi Knight Luke. He was the beginning of the Star Wars franchise. There's no way he can't be powerful. And if he's not, CG will rework him. So Revan, yes, Revan is powerful. He is better than Jango. So what I'm saying is this is a character that I'm going to need to go after to be able to progress in the game. Now, like I said, what's great is I was angry with how he was released, etc., is I'm going to probably be ending up spending less money on Revan than I would with a regular marquee character because of the panic farming that I've done. And that is the premise of the whole thing. Where will you guys be able to be in the future if you panic farm characters right away and they come out and you're going to need to spend some money? So I'm excited about that. And I can't wait. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to take a screenshot of where all the Old Republic characters are at, star-wise and shard-wise. And I'll show you then what it's going to take to get them all to 7 stars. Now, the one excellent thing that they did is the Chewie event was hard as heck. You guys know that. I have Bastila at gear 11. She's probably the only character I would really focusing on actually gearing up. All the other characters I have at gear 8. And here's what's great about it. I didn't have to farm a single gear piece for them. I had all this gear in reserve, meaning we look at this piece right here. I have 170 Mark III, that's an armor component. I have 1,215 Mark IV biotech implant salvages or prototypes. A lot of us have that amount of this stuff, which means you can get these characters to gear 8 without dropping Carbantes, stun guns. You might have to spend a few of the holo discs, but you only need 20 of those per time. That's definitely worth it. So you're not going to have to spend on gear. If I actually had to spend money on gear to get them to gear 11 or to get them to gear 12, like I did on some of the bounty hunters, this Revan would cost substantially more. So being able to complete the event with gear 8 characters, maybe one boss character, because I have them all. Jolie, T3, Zalbar Mission are all at gear 8 right now. If I have to take them a little farther, I think gear 9 will be more than sufficient. I've already completed the levels that you can with a certain star level, and I could auto them easily. I didn't lose one character, I didn't lose any health, and some of the missions didn't even require Bastila. One required, Zalbar and Mission, and you had Revan in there as the event character, and it was easy. So I think they did a very smart or wise decision not making the event as hard as the Chewie event. Now, here's something else. I know CG wants to make money. They are a profit-based company. So what we have to do as a community is I doubt they're going to change. And that's okay. That's the way they do it. I'm not happy with it, but they are a business. What we need to do is find the most effective way for everybody to spend the least amount of money possible to get these characters. Marquee characters, that's not going to change. You're going to have to drop the around $300 to get them to 7 star right away. But mostly, like I said, the heroic journey characters, CLS, Jedi Training Ray. How much money will you have to spend when certain characters come out to get those characters unlocked? How much would you have had to spend on the vet smugglers, Han and Chewie? And how much will you have to do here with T3M4? And it's going to happen in the future. So I hope this video can help people along the way in the future as well. Help them figure out, okay, if I do this, this is the way I'm going to do it. And also, it takes a sacrifice. Because you're going to have to sacrifice farming gear and farming a lot of other stuff to panic farm these characters like I have done for 3 weeks. Like I said, it'll be interesting how I end up farming them, if I do it through the store here, if I do it some other way. But I will end up getting him, and I'm excited to show you guys that and excited how it's going to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the subscribe button, like the video as well, click the little notification bell, and also, some people hate me, some people love me. I want you to leave comments in the comment section below, because some of you make good points. There's somebody that was totally on me about wailing on Django and Aura and then complaining about the cost of Revan. That's a valid point. I can't argue with that. I can't be mad at it, and it's something I actually had to think about and sit down and go, what should I do for that in the future? And some of you, there's no way I can ever change your mind, and that's okay. I like to respond to both points of view because maybe somebody just misunderstood something. Maybe I need to explain something more. I want to do as much as I can to reach out with you guys as a community. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share it with your friends if you think it's great, and stay tuned for more to come because this is just the beginning. Like I said, I'm going to screenshot this soon, leave it there, and show you what it's going to cost to get Revan. Otherwise, peace out, and may the Force be with you.